What is up, Packer fans? Back again. What a game that was. The Packers beat the Dallas Cowboys. I cannot believe it. I really thought that game was going to get away from them. Of course, with Aaron Rodgers, anything is possible. There's always the comeback opportunity and possibilities. But the way this season has gone, the way the offense has struggled, I just felt like once the Packers fell down 28-14, they were just gonna pack it in, call it a season. They'd fall to 3-7. It would have been pretty much a have to win out situation. You could tell that the game was leaning in the Packers' way or in the Packers' favor. Amari Rodgers fumbles it again, his seventh fumble in his not even 2 seasons of football. That cannot happen. Nixon looked way better back there returning punts, but we'll talk about that later. Hopefully, they can figure out the special teams. But Packers defense had forced a big stop against the Cowboys again, and then Amari fumbles it, and the Cowboys get the ball. They're able to score quick. Then they were able to get a 3-and-out, score quick again, and the Packers are down 28-14. And it really was the deciding time period. Are the Packers going to just call it a season, just pack it in and fall to 3-7, or are they going to fight back and try to win this game? So the Packers, didn't have a lot going on offense. They scored 14 points, which was good for them, but 4th and 7, Rodgers, they had got the ball down to about the 39-yard line. 4th and 7, Rodgers hits Christian Watson again on a nice deep route, nails him for the touchdown. Watson plows his way into the end zone. That was huge. There was still over 13 minutes left in the game. Packers had just made it 21-28. And for them, this was what I was saying. They needed to just get back in it, score some points. Even if Dallas had come back down and done something with the ball, Packers were still in it. They had some momentum. It looked like a really good drive there. Then the Packers defense gets another big stop. They were getting stops all over the field on both sides, back and forth, really getting after Dak and this Cowboys offense. But then the Packers driving down again. They're driving. They get down 1st and goal from about the 7, and on a perfect drag route, Aaron Rodgers hits Christian Watson for his 3rd touchdown of the game, which I loved. That was so awesome. Tying it up for the rookie, 28-28. And now, there was about 2 minutes or so left in the game. Packers actually got the ball back with with a few minutes, like a minute, 50 seconds left, and they ended up messing up a little bit. Well, Four said it was on him. I get it. He didn't want to take any risks. You throw it a few times, incomplete. Now the clock stops. Dallas had all their timeouts. They could have maybe gotten field goal range at the end. You're trying to drain the time, still kind of do something. It was just a tough situation, but Rodgers wanted him to trust them and allow him to make some throws, and he did not. Should have just ran the ball. If you're gonna run it on 1st and 2nd, run it on 3rd. But if you're gonna pass it on 3rd, let's try to get this going on 1st and 2nd. Let's not run the ball. He didn't mind the 1st down run, but the 2nd down run and then the 3rd down call he didn't like at all. So, but anyway. Packers, they finally played a complete game for the most part on both sides of the ball. Obviously, there's plays and situations and some downs and all those that they like back. But for the most part, first half, second half, defense made plays in both and offense made plays in both, which for us Packer fans, we haven't seen it in a long time, having a complete game like that. Of course, the special teams blunder, that really could have cost the Packers the game. I mean, the momentum had just totally shifted, and the Packers made the stop, and they were going to get the ball at like midfield, and then the Cowboys, recover the fumble because Amari he keeps fumbling the football. Another one where he actually didn't muff it from the catch. He ran with it and then got hit hard, and it popped out. So, but either way, you cannot lose the ball in that situation. Just really tough. But Packers defense, they bounced back after that, giving up the 2 quick touchdowns after that fumble, and then were able to make some big stops. And they made stops throughout the game in that 1st quarter. So the Cowboys jumped out to a 7-0 lead, and then Rodgers fumbles it. He gets hit by DeMarcus Lawrence, who makes him fumble. Cowboys get it in really good field position. they're either going to go up 10-0 or 14-0. I mean, it's going to be a really tough situation to dig themselves out of for the Packers. And Rudy Ford picks off Dak Prescott at the goal line. This Packers defense has been starting to get really tough down there in the red zone. They gave Josh Allen some trouble. Now Dak Prescott some trouble. And making it so that it wasn't going to be 14-0 the Cowboys. And the Packers were able to go down, drive down the field, and score a touchdown. So now it's 7-7. And that's huge. And then on the next drive, Dak throws another pick at midfield, and Rudy Ford gets him again. And so the Packers were able to drive that one down and score on an awesome run by Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, this guy needs to get the ball more. He had 138 yards on 24 carries, caught some passes out of the out of the backfield. A.J. Dillon added 65 yards rushing on his 13 carries. And Rodgers ran it a few more times, but the Packers are now 21-1 when Aaron Jones rushes more than 15 times in a game. The one loss coming against the Bills this season, and the Packers started running that a lot more as they were losing the game. Almost ran their way back in it in the second half. The Rodgers interception and some other things, obviously, but Packers finally are figuring out their formula. Run the football, use your two-headed monster at tailback, and then use the play action and go over the top to your speedster receiver, your young guys. You know, even Sammy Watkins made some nice catches. Lazard stepped up when we really needed him to. And, of course, Christian Watson, the player of the day, the player of the game. But Packers, they ran the ball 39 times. 39 times, they only threw it 20. That is a huge, 2-to-1 or discrepancy, which they're just running it double the amount of times they threw the ball and getting over 200 yards and being able to pass it for over 200 yards, but 3 touchdowns is just a huge day for this Packers offense. I'm just excited about the big game for the rookie, having him be able to come back after dropping that pass week 1 and then dropping 2 early balls this week against the Cowboys, and then coming back on his 3rd attempt. The over-the-shoulder touchdown was probably the hardest of all 3 catches. That was on 3rd down. He got that one and then broke free and got to the end zone. And then on 4th and 7, the one that made it 21-28, that was a nice play just because it was 4th and 7. And then obviously it was 1st and goal to tie it, and he ran a great drag route. A few routes he has never run before, like in college. He was basically just a vertical guy. Now he's starting to do these crossers and really get open, and he's a big dude. He's 6'5", he can run. He's got some talent, and this is why the Packers drafted him where they did. So really an exciting game. But once the Packers, when they fell to 28-14, the Amari Rodgers fumble, Packers defense couldn't get a stop. They could have easily packed it in. They kept with it. They kept running the football. They kept trying to figure out their identity. And having Aaron Jones go off like he did, he always plays well against the Cowboys, and Aaron Rodgers seems to always play well against the Cowboys also. So just having both of those guys play really well for the first time together this season, sometimes it's Rodgers played okay, but there's no running game or vice versa. Now they had both, and then the defense stepping up. Of course, we have a quick turnaround. We have the Titans coming to town with Derrick Henry on Thursday. Hopefully guys can get healthy and we can get after them, but this is a good start to a streak. If the Packers, after pulling off a win like this, they really could use this momentum to carry them forward in the next couple of weeks. If you would have told me that Dak Prescott would have had 3 touchdowns, Tony Pollard would have ran for over 100 yards, and CeeDee Lamb had over 150 yards receiving on 11 catches, I would have figured the Packers lost that game. But the Packers were able to make it close, get timely interceptions, timely stops on defense, big plays on offense when it mattered, and then big special team stops when they had to. I mean, they really backed up the Cowboys in some really critical situations on kickoff coverage and some other things. Penalties, though, they really hurt the Cowboys. They really hurt the Cowboys. And that's something that's been their kind of Achilles heel forever. Dallas had more yards, more first downs, more passing yards, and more plays ran, but they also had more penalties and tied with the Packers with 2 turnovers. And their turnovers were in the red zone. Obviously, Rodgers fumbled. That was a bad one. Gave the Cowboys really good field position, but then Rudy Ford picked them off right after that. So I thought the Cowboys would just run the ball. Zeke was out, so Tony Pollard was RB1. Malik Davis just run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. And they decided not to. They kept throwing it when they should have been running it. We even, getting stopped on 4th down and 3. That was just a huge moment. I know Mike McCarthy wanted to kind of be the savior and call the play that won the game, but in that position, 52-yard field goal into the wind, I kind of get the move, but I'm not really sure what the best call is there. If it works, you look like a genius. If it doesn't, you look like you should have taken the field goal. So, but I just thought Cowboys would have ran the ball more, and the Packers were able to win the time of possession battle. They had more rushing yards. They were able to control the clock and just get back in this game with a few stops and then maintaining the clock, or maintaining the football. So just really exciting for the Packers to be able to jump out like that. And then on that 4th and 3 call, like I was saying, it wasn't much open. I thought Dak was going to try to use his legs and get the first down, but the pocket really collapsed around him. Jaron Reed got around his waist, and he tried to throw it to Tony Pollard, and it just went over his head. It was not a good pass. And so now the Packers, that's when they get the ball back. They didn't do anything with it, but they were able to get the ball down the field, and 3rd down, or I think it was 3rd down, they got the quick one to Lazard, and he was able to bust down the field down to the 20-yard line. They weren't going to score a touchdown. They just wanted to kick the field goal, but Crosby, 28-yarder for the win. Huge. Crosby is the Cowboy killer for sure. Super exciting to get the stop on 4th and 3 and go down and score to win the game. It really is like, the whole season coming down to just one game, one big play. And for the Packers, to have a guy like Rudy Ford in his first game to start at safety. They still had Darnell Savage down in the slot, but for his first game to start at safety and to come in and have 2 interceptions, really turn the tide around in that first half for the Packers. Then have Aaron Jones be able to go off the way he did, get him 24 carries. He gives you 138 yards and a touchdown. I mean, that's all you can ask. Almost a 6-yard average. And then for the rookie, Christian Watson, to finally show why the Packers drafted him number 34 overall this season. 6'5", runs a 4.3 40. This guy just dominated this Dallas team. Dallas hasn't been dominated like that by a rookie receiver since 1998 against Randy Moss, who also had 3 catches, 3 touchdowns in that game. Watson had 4 catches, 3 touchdowns, but still for the kid, it's a huge game. Hopefully he can stack some more games on top of this one. But, the 3rd down catch over the shoulder, amazing. But the one on 4th and 7, that was just huge. Ran a great route. Rodgers got him the ball. And that's the thing. Like, kid, you're so talented. Rodgers is going to get you the football. You just got to get a step. And with that speed and that size, you should be able to. Very exciting to see those two finally connect and make some big plays. I'm just super excited about what this team can do moving forward. I think the Titans are going to be tough, obviously, on Thursday, but they're coming off a game against the Broncos where they had a lot of guys out, and it was just an ugly win for them. So hopefully the Packers can pounce on them and get the win, and then they get a little bit of a break. But what can you say about Aaron Rodgers that hasn't already been said? But he played so good. I mean, it was only 20 pass attempts, 14 completions. That's 70%. 220 yards and 3 touchdowns. Pretty much flawless when he was asked to throw the ball. And this is what the Packers formula should be. Really good defense, bend but don't break, and then run the football, and then have Rodgers use that play action and hit these big receivers he has. Lazard, 6'5", Sammy Watkins is a big, strong guy. So is Dobbs. Even Samari Toure is 6'1", and then you have Watson, who's 6'5" as well. So just let these guys make plays and run that formula. Run the football, run the football, run the football. They were even down, and they kept running the ball like they did against the Bills, and were able to run themselves back into the game. Most teams can't do that, but when you have Rodgers that can hit you with a big play all of a sudden, then it does work to run the ball, and then go over the top for a 58-yard touchdown. So super exciting. Packers 4-6. What a game to bounce back. And, they're still on the outside looking in at the playoff picture, but a win this week plus a win on Thursday against the Titans puts them at 5-6. before their little mini bye, before they get to play the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's a big game. That's a Sunday nighter. That'll be on prime time. So Packers, if they can win that, they can be 6-6, and that doesn't look as bad. So really exciting. Just Packers just need to keep stacking wins. 1-0 this week. 1-0 against the Titans, and then continue on forward. Philly is not going to be easy, and then they have the Bears after that. So every week just has to go 1-0. This was a huge win, momentum builder. They figured out some identity. Rodgers played great, got the talkers out of his ear now. I'm super excited to see what he has to say this week and see how he plays next week. Everybody just needs to keep doing their part, and this Packers team can be really, really scary. So go Pack go. Another week, another win, 4-6. Not ideal, but I think they're trending upwards finally. And go Pack go. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Check out other videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Go Packers. Peace out.